I think is this a left-handed mug?
You know what? It can actually fucking follow you on butter. Okay, it's fine.
Is it too much? Too close? So we're talking high carbon stainless steel, which most knives are. This is a fillet knife used for fish. Pretty bendy, thin, but has a nice, about an inch wide blade. Bendy, inch wide, but it has a nice thin blade. Check it. Boning knife used for separating raw meat from the bone. Also has a bit of malleability to it. The blade has a little bend, but is thicker than the fillet knife. Once again, this is used for separating raw meat from the bone. I use it mostly for chicken. And then the fillet knife has a really nice flexibility to it. Look at that, look at that. It's like a swimming fish. That's how you know it's a fillet knife, because it bends like a fish. Then you have a serrated blade, which is great for slicing breads as well as tomatoes and things like that. Serrated knives are good for. I feel like lots of people buy like these huge knife kits and they're kind of expensive and most of the shit just sits there. So I really only have a few select things. The stainless steel ones that I have are a boning knife, a fillet knife, and a serrated bread knife. And I sharpen those periodically myself. And then a lot of the times at home I use ceramic knives, not ceramic plated, but full ceramic knives. They keep a really nice edge and are safe around like kids and people who don't really know how to use knives, or you just don't have time to sharpen. They're like $25 to $100 for like a set of 4, and they stay sharp for a while. They're pretty user-friendly. A nice serrated blade by them. It's thinner than a classic stainless steel for a serrated blade, so it's good for produce like tomatoes and things like that that are delicate. This is technically a utility knife. I use it as a chef's knife just because I'm a tiny person. And the chef's knife usually is about 12 inches long, and I have tiny little baby hands, and it always killed me. I could never get enough like rock when I was cutting because the knife was so long and I'm so like close to the ground that it was just like whoosh, whoosh, like using a samurai sword to cut stuff. So I usually use a utility blade, which is a little bit smaller than a classic chef's knife. This is a little smaller utility. And these are all ceramic knives. And then you have a paring knife for small detail work, taking out cores, small produce, things like that. But most of the time I usually end up using this utility knife. It's a pretty all-purpose blade for me, and that's usually what I go to on a regular basis. So that's knives. Pots and pans. Pots and pans. You don't have to spend a ton of money on pots and pans. You could literally go somewhere and get a set of a couple things, and that can be pretty all-purpose for $30 to $40. So I'm gonna show you my favorite things that I like to use and that I use pretty often, and I do a lot of like cooking for a lot of people and a lot of cooking all the time. So, and this is all that I really need. So why spend money on shit that you really don't need? Sauté pan, also called a sauteuse, sauteuse, I believe it's sauteuse. I don't use it very much because it's pretty small. They make a variety of sizes, but I get a lot of splashes. I like olive oil and coconut oils and avocado oils and stuff in my food, so I really don't use this, but it comes in pretty much every set. Good for like a single person scrambled eggs or egg or whatever, but I'm usually making like 5 to 6 eggs at a time because you gotta feed the meat. This is actually my favorite pan. This is considered a sautoir, also known as a fry pan. It's kind of like a saute pan, flat bottom, but it's at sloping sides. The sides are more straight up. This is my favorite pan because I do a lot of like shallow frying and things like that, versus the saute pan, which has more sloping sides comparatively. Check it. But this is my favorite. I feel like I can saute in this as well as pan fry or deep fry, whatever the hell I want to do. This is really my all-purpose pan. Plus, it has a lid. Another thing I like about these like $40 sets is that you have like, they give you like 8 to 10 pans and like 4 lids, and the lids fit different things. And I'm one of those people that has all the burners going all the time. Power lidding, you know? Like really circulating that lid love. We talked about the saute. This is a saucepan. There's a couple different sizes of these. You know it's a saucepan because it has at least a 2 to 4 inch, or sorry, it has about a 4-inch side with a single handle for, you guessed it, sauces. That's crazy. You can actually use it for whatever the you want to use it for. But it's called a saucepan, and it's useful for like boiling water or cooking some vegetables, doing side dishes sometimes. It has a lid that isn't this one, but it also has a lid. Saucepan, different from a stock pot. This is a stock pot. I use this for making, you guessed it, stocks, broths, soups. Sometimes I'll do like, I'll like braise something in here or, you know, cook it up. This guy has a good lid. Good all-purpose size also for making like large batches of pasta. Love a good griddle pan. This is actually how I pick my pans out, is when I go to buy new pan sets, it has to have these two. These are my 2 favorite. I need my fry pan and I need a griddle pan. Griddle pans are great for multi-purpose work. So the other day I toasted buns and grilled ham at the same time. You could do multiple things at multiple times, cook multiple types of meat, French toast, pancakes. It's a great all-purpose pan. You can do lots of things. Grilled cheeses are great on there. It's flipping, frying, toasting breads, all those fun things. This guy is a Rondo. This is another one of my favorite pans. I use it like an all-purpose fry pan or a small sauce pot. I just like having 2 handles. This fits the same lid. Great, great. So those are some of my favorite cooking, what are those tools, cooking tools? What is it? It's a cooking what? What are these? Pots? Pots and pans?
Don't forget when you're doing these to periodically look at the camera.
I don't like looking at the camera. It's like someone's watching me. All right.